In previous audios, I touched on familial rank in regards to different situations, and I want to speak a little bit more on that in particular in regards to communication. It's good to have family, and family could be your bloodline, could not. Could be just people that you're associated with and that you just feel that level of closeness. They always used to say that back in the day that, skin folk ain't always kin folk. Your blood is not always your bond. And the reason why they say these things is because sometimes you could develop relationships with people that don't have any common background with you at all. It's just that your souls are connected. And that's the way it is sometimes. But in some families, they pull what is called familial rank in order to get their way in some way, form, or fashion. Let me give you a couple cases in point, and maybe you can understand where I'm coming from. Let's say that you went ahead and did something that went against the grain. You probably have a family full of people who all of them are spiritual leaders. Every single one of them. Male, female, all of them spiritual leaders. But you decide you want to be a traveling salesman, or you decide you want to be a truck driver or something like that. Something that requires you traveling all the time and not being home and not being in church, during the week and on Sunday. That might be a source of contention for some people. All of a sudden, there's all these things wrong with you. Oh, well, they didn't even go to college and da 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 da. All of a sudden, you're just this horrible thing. Instead of just being offered some support like they're supposed to do. I mean, for goodness sake, they are spiritual leaders. They should know that, right? I'm being sarcastic, people. But these people, instead of offering support to you, they give you a whole bunch of problems about it. Now, what you can do is two ways of dealing with this. Some people just get so depressed under the pressure, they just go ahead and just give up their dream of traveling and in their profession that they want to do, and just go ahead and just do what everybody else does and live the rest of their life just pleasing them. That's because 9 times out of 10, somebody pulled familial rank. I'm your mother. Okay. But Mom, they didn't ask to come here. I'm your father. I raised you. I took care of you. Yeah, but they didn't ask to come here. Oh, I'm your big brother. I'm your big sister. I think they are well aware of who you are all this time. I mean, you grew up together. I think they know who you are. So you need to listen to me because I did so-and-so and I did so-and-so. And the minute they say who they are, the first thing they want to talk about is what they've done for you, which is normally something that usually comes with the territory anyway, but they try to make it seem like it's some big extraordinary thing. No, all mothers do XYZ. All fathers do XYZ. All brothers and sisters do XYZ. It's not an unusual feat. It happens all over the world. But they'll use it. It's a source of emotional manipulation, people. They feel that you have somehow upset the dynamic. And out of their lack of understanding, and because that's basically what it is, out of their lack of understanding, they get frustrated, and the first thing that comes out their mouth is they figure they'll pull familiar rank to convince you to do what they want you to do. And as I said before, you have one or two options. You go ahead and you conform just to keep peace in the family. Or you just say, screw it. You know what? I don't have time for this, and you're gone. I look at it like this. Okay, let's say that you did conform. Let's say you were the first person, you did conform and you did everything. You're going to be just like that person who was married all those years and had that fancy job and fancy home and everything else, and come to find out they didn't want all that in the first place. They wind up walking away from it. So the difference between the first person and the second person is that the first person walks away years later, and the second person walks away immediately. Either way, somebody's going to walk away. So why not just go ahead and just offer support? There's a problem with acceptance in some families. They don't want to accept the fact that everybody is different. They don't want to accept the fact that people have their own minds and their own thoughts. They don't want to accept that. Now, if you're in a family and that's your family business and everybody is happy and satisfied, that's fine. Go with what you know. If everybody's satisfied, but see, that's the thing. There are a lot of people that are not happy, and they don't know where to go and what to do. The world is a big place. And before you get yourself in a situation where you have too many obligations and too many responsibilities where you can't do anything, go ahead and make that change now. And if you fail, at least you can look back and say that you tried, because shoulda, woulda, coulda don't do nothing for anybody. Do you want to be 60, 70 years old saying that you wish you had done so-and-so when you were 22, but because Big Mama said so-and-so, and Big Mama raised you, Big Mama pulled familial rank and guilted you into staying in the same 2 blocks that you was raised up in? Knowing that there's the other side of town, knowing that there's other side of the country, knowing that there's the other side of the world. But every time you even start talking about doing anything in that realm, that particular person pulls familial rank. We all have those 1 or 2 people in this family to do that. And when you have that fire inside of you, you have that desire in your heart, what it is that is part of your universal purpose that you are supposed to fulfill. And I'm going to tell you something about this universal purpose. This thing ain't no joke. First of all, let's get something straight about the universal purpose. It has its own calendar. So just because you didn't know what it was when you were 16 and you didn't know what it was when you were 26 or 36 doesn't mean that it is not possible. But see, the world is going to make you think that, so you can go ahead and put your dreams aside. So you can go around here and say that you're too old. It's all a fallacy. It's fake. Universal purpose has its own calendar. You can fulfill that purpose anytime that you're breathing on this earth. It doesn't matter how old you are. But see, we have these different societal constructs and different cultural rules that make us think, brainwash us into thinking that if it wasn't done by a certain time, that it's not going to happen. So therefore, when that time passes, we automatically give up the dream. It's a trick. And you have some of these people that are hung up on familial rank. And the minute that you realize that you are getting older, because let me tell you something, when you realize you have a universal purpose, guess what? It's not going anywhere, people. It's not going anywhere because it's cosmic. It was given to you by your Creator. And when your Creator gives you something, it doesn't go away. You have to act upon it. And it doesn't matter how old you get. So from time to time, you might bring up the possibility of pursuing it, and that same person will try to pull familial rank and use that as a way, somehow or another, to prevent you from fulfilling your dream. You know why? Because that person probably never had a dream or fulfilled a dream of their own. Low-key, jealous, and bitter. You trying to say the reason why my mama keep pulling rank every time I bring up something that she's jealous? Yep. Wait a minute, so you trying to tell me every time I do something and my dad tell me all the negatives about it and why I shouldn't do it, you trying to tell me that my own father is jealous? Yes. I mentioned before in a previous audio that it doesn't matter who you are. If you're human, you can be jealous. Jealousy does not know race, ethnicity, economic status, or education. It is a basic human emotion, and anybody can be jealous. So how about that? Don't let familiar rank hold you back from what you feel your universal purpose is. And if that person really loves you, they'll come around. Besides, when you get so wrapped up in your purpose, you're not going to have time to worry about what people think. Trust and believe me, because I'm going through that right now, and I find myself caring less about other people's opinion. Now, don't get it twisted. I still care about the people, but it's just that their opinion doesn't rent so much space in my head, because you got other things up there that are on a bigger scale that are more important. And they'll come around eventually when they realize you're not falling for it. Because 9 times out of 10, these type of people have done it with everybody. They pull familiar rank with everybody. So don't let familiar rank hold you back from what you feel you need to do in your heart to serve your society and make it a better place. That's all I'm trying to say. And with that, you have a great day.